All right. How is it going? I have been pretty busy for the past couple days. And last week, I actually did not trade because it was um, an interest rate week as far as the United States is concerned. And I have learned through trial and error, just don't mess with the Fed. And essentially don't trade during Fed week as a whole. So that's just my week to be able to just essentially chill. And that's essentially what I did as far as trading was concerned. So now what I'm going to be doing is um, getting back into it as far as um, doing my back testing um, and going from there. So let me see the last chart breakdown that I did so I can be able to know which to do today. So make sure that I have a full range and not doing the same thing over and over. Got a lot of things going on. So if you are in the chat, um, go ahead and put in your name so I can be able to know who I'm engaging with. And I want you guys to, ask questions. What I'm about to show you, US just attacked Iran? Word? Oh man. All right. So yeah, what I'm about to show you is literally something I prayed for. In the beginning, I I wasn't trading well, even when I was on here. Sharing with everybody, the course in X, Y, and Z. To put it up front, I wasn't trading well. Um, but I made it perceive and believe that I was, and I was not. And honestly, it was sin. It was wrong. And I am excited to be able to share my testimony, to be able to share what that experience was. And essentially, I put out the course, um, led people to believe that I was doing well trading, and I was not. I was not trading well. I did not uh, earn when it came to trading specifically. I made a bunch when it came to the actual core sales, and uh, knowingly, what I was doing was making people believe that I was doing well trading, and I wasn't, and it was sin. So everybody that's on here that was following me at that time, that got the course in X, Y, and Z. Um, I did that too, and I'm saying directly to be able to apologize and to say I'm sorry for that specific time. Um, and I created a fund, had somebody else trading with it, to be able to grow the funds, and essentially where I had the funds, literally everything that I earned as far as the course sales, I literally lost it all. It was literally stolen from myself and everybody else that had money in it as well. It was stolen from, and it's truly unfortunate. Um, so everything that I got during that sin was stolen from me by somebody else that was doing sin, and it's truly unfortunate. So um, after about a year or so, um, I came to the realization, as far as like the Holy Spirit really speaking to me and telling me um, that it was my fault. I was blaming the people that essentially stole the money from us. I was blaming others, but I should have blamed myself, that everything that I was doing was actually in sin, and it was wrong. And once I came to that realization, and once I was essentially truthful and honest with myself, that's when truly God was able to allow me to be able um, to heal and be able to move on. And at that moment is when I actually wrote down on a sheet of paper. It's somewhere in here. I gotta find it. Um, and I asked God. I was like, Lord, please allow me to be able to. And mind you, these words literally come from Second Chronicles chapter 1, where Solomon, where God is asking Solomon what it is that you want. So essentially, I made that same prayer. So I essentially wrote to God saying, Lord, please give me um, the wisdom and knowledge to be able to learn how to be able to trade the right way, not just for myself and what I could be able to gain, but for all the people that lost the money in that particular situation. And literally within a week or less, or two, something like that, I forget exactly specific days, but somebody else that actually owns a fund, like a large fund, he contacted me. He's like, hey, come over, I want to show you how I trade. Because I shared with him everything that happened with myself and everybody else, and how we lost so much. um and he shared with me his particular technique. um and it was like mind-blowing, because essentially I had the framework of how to be able to trade, but I just never knew when to be able to get out. Essentially, is what it was. I never knew when to be able to truly get out. Because in the past I would make money, lose it, make money, lose it. I would be in the green or be in the blue, but then it would go back to red, as far as not knowing really when to get out. And essentially, he shared with me when to be able to get out, and he gave me like a beautiful framework and blueprint to be able to trade. And there was a period of time of learning and be able to understand how the technique works in X, Y, and Z. It took a couple months to really be able to refine and do well, where I would make money. On specifically, I was trading S&P 500. I would make a bunch of money on the buys, but I would lose it on the sells. I'm like, what's going on? What's going on? I mean, thousands of dollars on the buys, but I would lose it on the sells. And it just clicked on me. Like, obviously, when it comes to the S&P 500, it is artificially propped up by funds that are just adding money into there on a monthly basis, based upon like pensions and X, Y, and Z, and 401ks. So I I had to find another pair that was not manipulated in that particular case. And so on and so forth. Going over some time, I found three particular pairs. And once I stuck to those three particular pairs, the ones that I've been trading, AUD, CAD, um, uh, EUR, GBP, and NZD, JPY, everything's been different. And I've been profiting every single week since then. And I've realized that it's that a whole entire time that I had the wisdom to be able to trade, I just didn't have the understanding. And in Proverbs, it explains, pray for wisdom, but also pray for the understanding of that wisdom. So essentially, God gave me the wisdom, but he didn't allow me to be able to have the understanding. Because in the past, I would have done it for my gain, but now, because I prayed for not just the wisdom and the understanding for myself, but I've been able to do it for others. And I really mean that. That's why, like, I come on here, I could just do my back testing by myself, but with everybody that was on here, the grand majority of you guys were subscribed from the beginning or bought the course from the beginning. um I want to say I'm sorry for what I did in the past, as far as coming out with that course, really not doing well trading, but making you believe that I was doing well trading. That was wrong. But now, God has truly blessed me with the true understanding, being able to actually profit on a weekly basis. Sometimes, like, I think we've had like 2 weeks where I did not profit. And probably 1 week where I broke even. That's about it. In the last couple months. But I'm truly grateful, and do understand, like, I want to share with you something. I can share this. I can do my back testing, which I'm about to do right now. You can watch it. You can receive the wisdom just like how I received the wisdom. But it's not you gotta, but this is in Proverbs. This is all over the word. If you don't pray for the true understanding of the information, I don't know if God's going to just allow you to be able to have it. The same exact way is right now, I have the wisdom and knowledge that God has given me because he sees, I think, my mind and my heart as far as like why I'm trading, so I can continue to be able to read his word and without having to like do anything else on a financial basis. Thank God. At any point in time, he could take it from me. The same exact way he took literally all all of the money that I had. He took it from me, and I'm so okay with it. It's the same exact way that he can be able to take the wisdom from me. So I want to be able to share with you this wisdom, but I'm telling you guys, you got to pray for the understanding. Receive the information, receive the wisdom, but I'm telling you, you're also going to have to pray for the understanding of the wisdom, not just for you, not just for your immediate family, but how can you serve God and God's people with this information? I'm telling you, that I think is like the secret sauce or whatever it is. You know, I've lived through it, and this is the testimony he gave me, which I'm cool with. So I pray that you receive this wisdom, but also pray for the understanding. So let's go ahead and get into it. I'm going to, I haven't been doing NZDJPY as far as my back testing. So that's what I'm going to focus on today. This one right here, I also like put a loom as well. So is it recording? I hope it's recording. Okay. So yeah, we're going to do NZDJPY as far as our back testing today, and go on from there. If you have any questions, go ahead and put it in the chat. Click on the like button. Can you just do that? That's like your deal. Like, I show you good info, you just click on the like button. It's like half a second. All right. But also ask questions. Be engaging so that I could be able to then be able to like really break this down in a better way for you. Okay. And then also, I do want to share, I do have Bible studies that I do live at 11 a.m. Eastern. Hop on and just listen, you know, interact and stuff like that. I also put up videos after I do my Bible study, like a cut up version and stuff like that. Make sure you click on the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. Check to see if you're subscribed, but click on the bell notification, because what they'll do is when I go live, you'll be able to go ahead and show you that I'm actually live. So let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and just click where it says replay bar, and I'm just going to go to a random bar, right? And you can be able to see like this works, right? So this is a random place, October 2020. Perfect. This is starting on a Sunday, so it's just like I'm starting the brand new week. So let's go ahead and jump into it. So price is pushing to the upside. I was wondering what happened to you. I was trying to figure out page because you gave me. Well, I'm happy that you learned a lot from the course. You know, that's like the framework. But now I'm really going to show you like, hey, this works. But like I was saying, just pray for the wisdom and understanding of this information. Okay, guys. All right. So price went ahead and broke this resistance right here. So in the course, what do you see? You see a lot of things. You see where I speak about resistance. You see where I'm speaking about support in X, Y, and Z. So that's what this is about. It's a lot of support and resistance, support and resistance, support and resistance. Okay, and that's what I'm going to be looking for over and over and over. Price breaking these levels over and over and over again. And essentially all it is big bank take little bank. At some point in time, I'll come out of a video to be able to explain what I mean when I say that. But that's all this is about. One bank is in a profit, one bank is in a negative. That's what it's about. So right now we have a break of resistance and break of support. So I'm just gonna wait before I even jump in. Being the fact that I have not been in this particular market, I gotta be able to see what's going on. So I'm going to just watch and wait. I need price to break through first. Okay, see, you see how it's erratic and stuff like that? This right here is some type of bank that wants price to go in one direction. And this most likely is another bank that says, hey, I need to close out my position. Being the fact that price has been pushing to the upside, and that's the only reason why I'm taking essentially that guess at the moment. So let's just wait until price breaks through the resistance or support. Essentially what that's saying is one bank is pushing a price, and mind you, this information I'm telling you I've been able to receive from somebody that was given to me that works on the trading desk of JP Morgan Chase. So this is not just me saying stuff. You know, God gave me this wisdom and this knowledge, and you know, I feel called to be able to share it with you. If you're going to keep on watching me trade, and if I could be able to share with you the gospel at the same time, then that's my way. You know, some people, they give out food, you know, to the homeless, and you know, they share the gospel like that. Or what other ways they do it? They give movie tickets. I don't know what churches do, but this is my version of church. You know, I'm gonna show you, you know, how we trade, and as I, you know, speak about the word too. I think that's fine. So if you're praying for something, you can put it in the chat. I think that'll be fun. We could be able to do it like that. If something that you're praying for, something that you're going through, you put it in the chat. So again, what am I doing right now? I'm literally just waiting for price to break through one of these areas until price shows me where it's going, because I can't get in unless it breaks through one of these first. So this is a lot of waiting, as you can see. But that's why I trade not just NZD JPY, but also EUR GBP and AUD CAD. Man, this is take forever. I'm probably gonna have to just get in. I don't really want to. I don't want to just do that for the video. So no, I'm gonna wait. This is what I do. I gotta wait for price to show me where it's going. Because essentially what would be happening is I'd be just getting chopped up. And I don't want to be chopped up. So I have to wait until it shows me where to go. So anything you want to ask in the comment section, you can. As I'm waiting, I'm seeing that price is pushed to the upside, so I may just say F it, because we have one break of resistance and we have another break of resistance. Price has touched this. Let me see if I can find. Okay, we have many resistances that I can be able to pull from in the past. So essentially what these are that I'm looking for right now are, since I'm possibly going to start buying, these are going to be my take profits. So essentially banks, they trade from resistance to resistance or from support to support. That's essentially what they're doing. And essentially what they're doing is they're closing out at each one of these levels. This is not my words. This is essentially what I've been taught, and it's been working for some time. Okay. So I I'm gonna wait for price to break through that resistance, and then I could be able to start getting it. Okay, so we have test, we have break. So essentially what I was doing was waiting for price to break through with a full candle this resistance right here, right? Which essentially is this tested, and I'm going to close out at this resistance right here. So it's kind of like in and out at the moment because price is not really moving too much out of this zone, but at some point in time it will. And then also I have many different support areas that I'll be able to enter in as far as my scaling. I know I didn't really explain too much as far as what I'm talking about right now or why I'm doing that, but just keep on watching and then you'll be able to see like what's going on over time. So this right here is going to be my TP. TP buy. Okay. So for everybody that's on right now, I actually do a Bible study on the same exact channel at about 11 a.m. Eastern on a daily. So if anything, I invite all of you guys to be able to hop on and just watch. And if you have any inputs that you can be able to have inside of there, I'd love to be able to hear what your thoughts are on when we're speaking. So I'm just waiting for price to break through that resistance area. And if anything, this will be a scale in here. Scale in buy if price decides to continue to push down. And what I do is I actually scale in at 20% higher than what my entry was. So as you can see, it's kind of choppy. Okay, most likely it's gonna hit my scaling area, which I'm completely fine with because it'll allow me to be able to get out a little faster. Okay, boom. Okay, so now I'm getting in at 20% higher. And what that does is it pulls my average buy-in lower. And because I want to get out, this was the resistance right here. Because I want to get out, I'm going to move my TP to the last resistance that was there. Okay. Now, because there's a possibility that price will go even further, I'll go ahead and just scale in again at essentially 20% higher what my original was. And I just wait. Okay, so now 20% higher. It pulls my average buy-in lower again, right? If you're on here right now, as like a trade-off, I trade and I show you like my skill, I guess you'd say, and you click on the like button. That's like the trade-off. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna keep my TP here because that's the last real resistance. And I'm just going to wait until we get to that point. I'm just gonna get out. I'm cool with getting out there. And as you can see, look at where my initial entry was. My initial entry was here, right? My initial entry, so I bought, right? My initial entry was here, right? So essentially I broke even or lost on my first entry, which is completely fine. Oops. Right? But then I made money on these two. Right? So when it comes to this particular method, you got to make sure that you have proper risk management, because if not, um, you'll mess up an account. So now this is the resistance, right? Okay, so, and this is the support. Okay, so now I feel more comfortable to enter off of a move. Okay, so we go back to start, right? Okay, and we get started. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask. Go ahead and ask. I wanna answer your questions. Right. So as you can see, like it would hit my TP. Right, it would hit it. I would say I'm very conservative, and I know definitively I lose more money by not waiting till till it hits my TP than me losing trades, which is very interesting. Okay, and that's my bad habit. Okay, so this is essentially how it moves. Price breaks through some level of resistance. I wait until price comes back to that level of resistance as a support, and then I buy. And then I close out at the nearest resistance. This is the method. This is the method. Super simple. Oh, no. I made a mistake. So it's just 100, just one entry. Okay. So yeah, that's my TP. Okay. And if price comes back to here, then I scale in. If it comes back to here, then I scale in again. Okay, let's wait. Ooh, is it gonna allow me to scale in? So I would have scaled in if I was able to get to that particular candle right here, especially the fact that it came back to this particular thing right here, which is essentially a volume profile. And essentially what this does, this line right here, is it says for this particular day, the amount of volume that happens throughout that particular day happens the most at this particular price. So what is that saying? There's a lot of movement, a lot of buying and selling happening at this particular price, and that's why you'll see price go to it and then pop, right? So yeah, let's see if it'll allow me to pop in. No, dang. I want to get in again here. Okay, and it went back to it. So I want to get in because this is like an easy trade. So buy. So essentially what I'm doing is I'm buying because of this support right here. Because of that support. So scale and buy. That support right here. So essentially there's some particular bank that wants price to be able to push price to the upside. But there's some a bank that's in the marketplace that was selling. So what they're doing now is pushing price back down so that they can be able to close out their sells, and then now they're going to go in the direction of the bigger bank. It's the same exact thing that I did here. Price broke through some level of resistance, I bought, and because price was pushing downwards, I kept buying until I got out of my original position. This is what banks do. This is why they only make money and they never lose. Literally, banks, they'll call each other and be able to say, hey, you're going that particular position. I want to be able to close out of my trade. Allow me to be able to sell, to get to this position, and then we'll go ahead and buy in your direction. And that's why I don't trade when the Fed is doing whatever they want to do, because that's the ultimate bank. All right, let's continue. So I could have waited. So let's just say the price went to here, right? Then I'll buy in again. But I think we're good from here. All right, there it is. So it would have closed out my trade here, right? It would have hit my TP, but whatever, flat. Okay. So I don't want to act like, price would have gotten there. So I'm going to put price to here because that's where my actual trade was, right? And here, right? Boom. So when it comes to this particular method, you also have to be okay with being in a negative for a long time. From what I've seen, my average trade is about 12 hours. So yeah, so about 12 hours in a particular trade. Now here, when it comes to a trade, what I mean by trade, 1, 2, 3 transactions, these transactions right here equals one trade for me. This and this is one trade for me. Make sense? Okay. So price broke through the resistance right here. So what do you think I'm gonna do? What do you think I'm gonna do? I want somebody to write down. What do you think I'm gonna do? Come on. What do you think I'm gonna do? I want to see if I'm actually teaching somebody. If I was to bring in one of my daughters, she will know what I would do. So I want to know, am I teaching you well? Come on, somebody write. I'm gonna wait like 2 seconds. 1, 2. Okay, nobody wrote. So essentially, price broke through level resistance. What I'm gonna do, wait for price to come back to the level resistance, and then I will buy. So I gotta wait. Oh, I missed it. Oh, there it is. Okay. So you see, price broke through level resistance. It came back to the level resistance as a level of support. And now I start back at the original and I buy. Well, essentially, this is actually, now that I think about it, I didn't even like view it. This right here is the actual resistance that I should have waited. So price is probably going to go back even further, right? Which is fine. Okay. But yeah, essentially it did break this one, but this is where I actually had to wait. It's okay. Oh, let me go ahead and put in for my TP. Boom. Somebody said, I don't know. Would it have hit that? Okay, good. No. So this is my TP now. TP buy. Okay. Boom. I also got to clean up my charts. This would be my scaling. All right. So as you can see, it would have hit this resistance. This is where my actual entry should have been, right? And generally what I do is I'll probably put in like half here and then another half here, as far as if I really want to make sure that I get into the particular trade, because sometimes this thing just keeps going, especially NZDJPY, it just keeps going and I miss the trade, and it's frustrating when that happens. Okay. Oh, you know what's funny? I'm realizing this as well. This was actually the resistance as well. The nearest actual resistance. So price broke that resistance up here, which was based upon this resistance. I could have entered on all of them, but whatever. Price broke this resistance. That's why it came down here. And price broke this resistance. That's why price was searching for here. And this is what I'm talking about, where price sometimes doesn't hit all the way. So whatever. All right. So it's not gonna be like the most profitable trade, because I could have gotten more, but it's fine. I don't want to confuse anybody, because the scale-ins have to be at supports, and I don't want to teach you the wrong thing. It's taking forever. And this is a new week too. All right. So it's about to get there. And then we'll close out of this. And then I'm gonna stay on live. There it is. You see how like calm that is, man? Oh man, this is beautiful. I'm so grateful for this knowledge. Like you have no idea. Like how comforting it is to be able to know like how like I prayed for the wisdom and he gave it to me. Um so that now I can be able to like, help you get the wisdom as well. Um and if he allows for you to be able to have the understanding of it, you can be able to make money for yourself. I could be able to make money for myself. But ultimately to be able to have it where I could be able to just spend time reading the word. Like this is what this allows me to do. This wisdom and knowledge allows me to be able to be where I don't have to be anywhere else. I could just be focused and read his word, share it with you guys while still being able to make money. Beautiful. All right, so we have a question. Thank you for the question. Do you get in an entry when it breaks resistance? Yeah, that's essentially what I'm doing. So most important, on the 5-minute time frame, price breaks through a level of resistance with a full bullish candle. I wait for price come back to that level of resistance, and then I go ahead and buy, and then I close out at the nearest resistance. Now, the opposite, if price breaks through level of support, let's say price breaks through a level of support, right, with a full bearish candle, I wait for price to come back to that level of of support as a level of resistance, and then I close out at the nearest support. That's essentially what it is. Okay, so that's NZDJPY. Let me go ahead and close this one real quick. Go ahead and ask me any other questions, guys. I'm going to go ahead and save this. I have like a little playlist that I keep all of these in. I want to save this, and then I'm going to do more backtesting. The girls have to go to sleep, but they're chilling. What day is today? June 21st, 6/21. Backtesting day is starting at 10/23/22. 10/23/22. 225.89. 225.89. Okay, there it is. That one's done. Okay, so now I'm going to do, oh, let me check something real quick. So I'm going to do another back testing. I need to see which chart haven't I been doing the most, and I think it's EUR GBP. So I want to make sure I have like enough of all of them. Hold on. So let me put this in here. Okay, so we have, you know what? Let me make folders for each one of these. AUD, CAD. Oh no. Just one moment, guys. I'm just like organizing my stuff. So I have 3 of these and 2 of each of these. Okay, so I'm going to do, since we just did NZD, we're going to do EUR GBP now. Okay, so same thing. We're going to go to a random bar. and now we're in 2012. What I'm showing you is the fact that this works anywhere at any time. Like, what is it, 13 years ago this method works, because the banks have been using the same method since then. It's just that the charts at these times are like more like choppy, like the candles are not as smooth. That's the only thing. All right, so let's look for support and resistances. Okay, so I'm going to make this my support that I'm going to wait for price to break through. I hope that price pushes to the downside so I can be able to show you how I sell. And I'm going to make up here. Well, price broke through resistance once, made support on top, then broke through again. This is a retracement to be able to allow for the sellers to be able to get out. If price comes back here, then possibly push to the upside. So technically we are on an uptrend right now. So I'm going to make this my resistance instead. Yeah. How long do you practice backtesting? All I do, remember, this is just, I would generally be doing this for myself. The same exact way as like I used to play baseball. We practiced way more than we played. We practice every single day. My daughters, they are in gymnastics. They practice like what, like close to like 30 hours a week for a performance that's gonna last for like what, 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes per year. You know what I mean? So what I do is I just do one. So I have 3 pairs. One, oh man, I didn't record this. Hold on. All right. For my loom. Okay. So I have the question right now. How long do I practice? I used to play baseball. We practiced every single day for about 2 to 3 hours per day, and had probably like 2 or 3 games a week. My daughters, they do gymnastics. They practice probably like 30 hours a week for a performance once a year, or like 4 times a year, that lasts like 20 minutes. So I practice way more than I actually trade. And what I mean by that is I do 1, 2, 3. I have 3 pairs that I trade, and I do each one of those where I do a back test that lasts 1 week. So it's like I'm trading 3 full weeks for 1 week. So I'm getting exposure to 3 times more of the market than I actually place on a weekly basis. So I'm starting on this random Thursday, right? And then I'm going to end on a Thursday, essentially, is how it's going to flow. So right now I see that there's a support here, right? Price broke through this level of resistance here, came back to the level of resistance as support. Price pushed again, so essentially it broke the resistance twice, even broke this resistance. So it technically can be considered as an uptrend, but now that I'm looking at here, this is probably closing out the buyers that were in this market that price push. It never came back to this area, and this was the attempt to be able to get back to it, to be able to get back to this area right here. So I'm just gonna wait some time. I'm actually gonna push this a little higher and see how this is gonna flow. I hope price pushes to the downside and break the supports to continue the sells. That will make me more comfortable to sell than to buy at the moment. Let's see. Okay, there it is. Okay, perfect. I wanted to sell more than I wanted to buy. You can't see my freaking chart. Y'all. All right, sorry about that. Yeah, so thank you for putting that in there. Yeah, price broke through the level of support, came back, as you can see beautifully, right? Right at that level of support, as if it's magic, right? So I'm going to go ahead and sell, and I'm going to close out at the nearest support in the past. So I got to find it. I hope I have enough bars to find it, because this would be a whack back test. Because I don't have a level of support to be able to go to. So because of that, I'm trading like this now. Generally, I would have something I could be able to view, because I could be able to just go like on the 1 hour time frame and find it. But if I click on that, it's going to mess up my thing. So we're gonna have to live with it. It's not going to allow me to be able to do it, is what I'm saying. Okay, cool. So remember 20%. This is going to be able to allow me to be able to close out here. So this will be my TP for my sell, right? Oh, I need to show you. So this right here is a level of resistance, right? That was in the past. And then that's when I scale in to be able to sell even more, 20% higher than I did in the past. And then the same thing here. Let's just say price comes over here. Same exact thing. I'll go ahead and sell 20% higher than I did in the past. So I'm just waiting for price to come to my TP, which is here, and then I'll close. Because I don't have another resistance, another support that I could be able to pick from, which sucks. Oh, there it is. Isn't that interesting? So essentially, what are you seeing here? Like, it looks strange, but the end of the day happened, and then the market opened at this point. That's essentially what happened here. Right, close. Literally right at my support. What are the odds? Right? So sold, and I sold. Okay. So now price technically broke the support, so I have to jump in, but I don't have something to jump in for. So this is a resistance. All right, I hope price pushes to the downside hard. So I can be able to have a TP to be able to use. Any questions as you guys are on here? Okay, technically, I'm supposed to get in. It's just I don't have a TP. Ugh. A TP to be able to reference from. So I'm just gonna hop in and then just wait until I see a break of support. A break of resistance. Okay, so I have, oh. So at least here I could be able to scale in. Because this is a level of resistance. So I'm going to Go ahead and sell. And this is now going to be my TP. Because this is the level of support that I have access to. I didn't have access to one in the past. If price comes to this resistance here, then I'm going to essentially like here, I'm going to take the whole thing. Then I'm going to enter in more. Okay, that's close enough. So now 20% higher. And now we have, you know, a good trade. And if price comes here, then I'll do the same. Oh, you see how price came to this level right here? What is 20% higher than that? 728. 728. So perfect. Well, perfect. This allows me to be able to get a bunch more. So this is technically where my scaling should have been. So I'm going to wait. If price gets to here, then I'll get in more. And I'm going to keep my TP here. Or if price gets to here and like it's slow, then I'll close out here, because this is the last time that there was a level of resistance and a level of support that was strong. There's also here as well, but my average buy-in is at this point right here. So this would be my initial TP, and if it's strong enough, then I'll wait till here. Oh, oh, dang. I hope it comes back. Oh, I'm on a live. Talk to mommy. And I wanted that one. So it's strong, so I'm gonna hold. So price is probably going to look to retest this area that was not touched, and then continue to the downside, possibly. We'll see. What's going on? So that's the first area that I was talking about, and I need to make sure that's gonna break that area. Why isn't it stopping? Stop! Why isn't it stopping? Oh, stop, 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 stop. Sheesh. It was like glitching. All right, well, it hit my TP. All right, flat. Okay. That's what I was talking about. This thing right here didn't allow me to get it. That would have been like freaking just a beauty. So as you can see here, my initial entry, this is technically where my TP was, right? And as you can see, price broke through it, came back to the area as a level of resistance, and it kept on going. But my entry is just about where my exit was. Right, where essentially people kept on selling and selling and selling and selling, until, right? So this was a good trade. So do you see what I'm doing? Essentially over and over and over and over. I would highly encourage to, try this out, but on a demo account, for months. I would, well, not on a demo account. I'm talking about back test for months. Like, you see, I'm doing it for a week. Do it for like a year, every single week. Take the time because it's worth it. It's worth it. It's worth it. It's worth the time. Okay, this is up to Wednesday. I'm gonna do one more day and then I'm out. Okay. So this is my level of support. Support. I would have gotten in there, but I don't have a TP to get. Sucks. Mm. So what I see sometimes also is, like, after a big move, there's a lot of people that close out as far as like big banks, um or companies. So that's why the market just cools down, because everybody's waiting. Okay, who's gonna move? Who's gonna move first, essentially, and then they go in that direction. The same way that I'm waiting, right? Like, there, boom. What's going on, man? I pressed the stop button. All right, this thing is messing up. Either way, this is Thursday, so I'm done. Okay, this thing is messing up. All right, so I'm done. That was the back test. It sucks that I forgot what it was. I can be able to look at the video to be able to see. So that was the back test for EUR GBP. I hope you got some value from this back test right here. Since she's doing the same thing over and over and over. Every weekend I'm going to be doing these back tests at a random time. It's just whenever I get the time to be able to do it. During the week, though, I'm going to be doing Bible studies live at about 11 a.m. Eastern. I highly encourage you to hop on. Make sure that you below you have the subscribe button clicked, as well as the notification bell, because that's when you can be able to get an alert that I'm actually live. If you haven't already, go ahead and click on the like button. That's like your thank you. That's like the thank you button. We'll call it the thank you button. No problem. And we'll go from there. So I'll speak to you all another time, and I'll speak to you all soon. Peace.